Hi YouTube, and thank you for clicking on this video. So I decided now that we're in the month of June and everybody's kind of in the sun more, I'm going to make a video about myths you've heard about your skin in the sun. Now I don't know who told you this myth, maybe your mom, your best friend, the girl who works at the tanning salon, but I am here to tell you what is not true and how to stay safe this summer. Myth number 1, tanning beds, especially in moderation, are not that bad. I am here to tell you, yes they are. So for one, tanning beds are a confirmed carcinogen, so the FDA is telling you that even if it doesn't happen in your early 20s, the tanning bed is something that is confirmed to give you cancer. So the way that tanning beds even work is that it's just straight UV rays onto your skin. Now when you get a tan, your skin and your cells and the DNA are being damaged. So in response to that, it makes more melanin and pushes that melanin forward to protect you from the sun, or what your skin thinks is the sun. So if you think about it, you're going in the tanning bed one color and coming out another. So that means in that little bit of time that you were in there, the 10 minutes or however long it takes, you damaged your skin enough to destroy and ruin the DNA, make a response to get tan, and then push that melanin forward. So no physical SPF can keep up with that. Even if you're wearing the best SPF 50, 55 you can find, there's not actually something that's going to protect your skin from that kind of rapid damage. And so I got this statistic, again I'm looking at my notes in front of me, skincancer.org, that using a tanning bed before the age of 35 makes you 75% more likely to develop melanoma at some point in your life. Now that's specifically from using a tanning bed. That's not counting the time you're in the sun at the beach, the time you're in your car and your windows aren't tinted and you're getting the UV rays. That's counting only from a tanning bed. So if you think about it, you already spend way more time in the sun than you think you do. You're already damaging your skin enough. Going in the tanning bed makes you crazy vulnerable for melanoma. And I mean, I'm not really gonna talk in this video a ton about like what melanoma is and why it's bad, but it's definitely not worth it when you think about just going in a tanning bed before a wedding or before your prom. Protect your skin as much as you can, especially when you're so young. Myth number 2 is base tans. So the concept of a base tan is basically the idea that if you're going on vacation or maybe like you have something to do and you don't want to get a severe sunburn at that point, it's the idea that if you get a tan first or a burn first, that your skin will be better protected from the sun. Now the first issue with that is if you're burning every single time you go out in the sun and you don't have a tan, that means you're not listening to your skin enough. So you want to make sure that you're wearing clothes, a big hat if you have to, a lot of SPF, you're reapplying often enough. Not everybody has skin that allows them to go just lay out in the sun or lay on the beach, and that's perfectly fine. You just have to make sure that you're taking care of it in the meantime and that you're not letting it get exposed to that much sun that you're burning every single time. And the second issue with the base tan is, are you less likely to burn, as in like peeling, redness, like when you get like those big scales on your back? Like yes, but you're not actually preventing yourself from any damage. So you're still likely to burn if you have skin that burns. It can happen again whether you have a base tan or not, and also you're still getting all of the same damaging UV rays whether you have that tan or not. So you're still exposing yourself to skin cancer, you're still exposing yourself to aging rays, sagging skin, wrinkles, things like that. You're still exposing yourself to getting burnt. So if you think about it in the long run, the concept of a base tan sounds like it would make sense, but you're just as likely to have everything happen from the sun as you were if you didn't have that base tan. So my advice is, instead of doing a base tan, just slowly introduce your skin to the sun and make sure that when you're going out in the sun, you're taking breaks, that you're not consistently out for 6 hours a day, that you're in and out of the sun, that you're reapplying your SPF, especially on your face, and that you're covering yourself up with clothes as much as you can. Myth number 3 is that all sunscreens are the same. So when you're shopping for sunscreen, you want to make sure that it covers a few things. The first thing being that it is a physical sunscreen, which means it's going to block the UV rays from coming into your skin. So physically, like repelling the rays. And then you want a chemical sunscreen that says this is going to absorb the UV rays. So those are both a 2-in-1 product. It would say like at the top of the bottle that it does both of these things. And you also want to make sure that it's protecting you from UVA and UVB rays. So UVA rays, you want to think like aging, sunspots, wrinkles, that kind of thing. And then the UVB rays are burning rays. So like sunburns, like redness under the cheeks, when your shoulders and back get really hot and red, it's going to protect you from that. So those are the main 4 things you want to make sure you have in the sunscreens that you're buying. And also an ingredient like zinc is going to help calm and minimize redness. So when you are in the sun, you don't have as much, especially on the face, the under eyes, the cheeks, on the nose. A lot of people get super red. The zinc is going to help calm and minimize that. So just make sure when you buy an SPF that it includes all of those things. Myth number 4, I only need to wear sunscreen on my face or during the summertime. Now, the main thing about this is a lot of people say during summertime, you have to remember that the sun never actually goes away. Even if it's a cloudy day, the sun is coming through the clouds. Even if it's snowing, like right after a snowstorm, the sun is reflecting off of those super white, super bright snowbanks. So you're never actually getting away from the damage of the sun unless you're only going outside at night. You're still susceptible to just as much damage as you would be during the summer. So always remember to keep your SPF on all year round. And a lot of people too only wear it on their face. Again, kind of the same thing. The sun is on your whole body no matter what you do, and that is another reason that a lot of skincare moles sneak up, like either on the hands, behind the ears, on the feet, just because those are areas that a lot of people are forgetting. So you have to remember that your skin is everywhere. I know that sounds so like duh, but your skin is everywhere, so you want to make sure you're getting your SPF everywhere so that you don't get any of those moles that sneak up in kind of the hiding places and then end up with skin cancer from that. So just all year round, SPF, whole body, whole face, and that's it. You'll be protected. Myth number 5 is going to be, I don't burn, so I don't need to wear sunscreen. So the thing about this is that yes, your melanin is protecting you from the sun. That's exactly what it's doing. But melanin skin at its darkest is only about an SPF 13, and the FDA tells you that you need to use at least SPF 30 to be protected from how the sun is. So I mean, if you think about it, your 13 versus the 30 that you need isn't actually going to protect you enough in the long run, especially if you're not aiding it with additional sunscreen. So you're not really getting that full protection that you believe that you are. And I'm talking about, when I say SPF 13, I'm talking about dark skin. There's people my complexion and lighter that feel like they don't need to wear SPF because they're not burning. And when you're going out with no SPF, you're leaving yourself completely vulnerable to how powerful and damaging the sun can be. So when you're doing that, you're so much more likely to have moles that are popping up that you need to go to the dermatologist, you need to get checked. You're more likely to have freckled skin as you get older, drier skin, sun damage, wrinkles, things like that, and those will pop up a lot earlier in your life than they would if you wore SPF. Of course, everybody at some point is going to wrinkle and get old, but if you've been going out in the sun your whole life without SPF, those signs are going to start popping up closer to your 30s and 40s than they are your 50s and 60s. And I always explain to people, it is so much easier to prevent something than it is to correct something. So you may feel great, oh, my skin doesn't burn, I'm not wearing sunscreen now, but when you end up older and you're like trying to fix all of these problems with peels and products and facials, it is so much more expensive. So it is so much more worth it to just invest in the SPF now. Whether you feel like it's doing anything or not, just put it on and you'll thank yourself later when you have healthier skin that looks healthier and you're not getting skin cancer. You'll definitely thank yourself then. So in conclusion, I am very aware that if you don't believe anything I said and you believe that all these myths are true, that you're probably not going to change what you've been doing so far. I know that. The thing is even if you say that at your age you're not concerned about aging, you're not thinking about your skin when you get older, that's perfectly fine. But I always like to remind people that the statistics surrounding skin cancer give you no reason to believe that it could never be you. There's way too many people in way too many cases affected that say that skin cancer can happen and is very likely to happen. So I'm reading this statistic from skincancer.org, and it says 9,500 people are diagnosed every day with non-melanoma skin cancers. So 9,500 people a day, there's no reason to think that it's super rare that it's not going to happen to you. The sun is everywhere, the sun is strong, and it's powerful. And especially the way that global warming and things are going today, the ozone layer is not helping you out like it used to. So the best advice I can give is wear your SPF, especially on your face, reapply, have your fun in the sun, but always stay safe.